One of the arguments against any kind of social welfare program from right-wingers always involves fear-mongering about so-called freeloaders, people who either obtain benefits without qualifying for them or deliberately avoid earning money because they'd rather just qualify for benefits and get benefits. One example of this, in fact, is Ronald Reagan's welfare queen story, which turned out to be about a completely made-up woman. I don't even remember the details. She was having children specifically to get more food stamp money or whatever the case was. Turned out to be made up. We also heard this during the 2012 presidential campaign on the Republican side when it came to discussions of so-called entitlements and welfare programs. It now turns out that it's really just a complete ruse. We've known for a while that a lot of those criticisms are based in kind of xenophobia and bigotry, right? Because implicit in the criticism of those who are on social welfare programs being lazy is the implication, the connection that it's minorities that are lazy. So we're kind of familiar with that. But there's an interesting new study that's out from the Department of Agriculture, which says that in 2010, nearly 51 million American incomes were low enough to qualify for SNAP. However, only 38 million actually received benefits. So there were millions, tens of millions of Americans who qualified for food stamps but did not apply. Now, why is this? Some people simply don't know that they're eligible. Others, the process may be difficult to navigate. And for some people, it is, of course, the stigma associated with being on those programs. But Lewis, more and more evidence, hard data, the idea that broadly speaking, the problem with these social welfare programs is that people are scrambling to qualify and to stay out of a well-paying job in order to be able to get food stamp money, which is paltry, to be completely honest, is completely false. It's completely based in stereotypes, prejudice, and just really bears no bearing on the reality of the situation.
Right. And I think a lot of politicians probably know that, yet they want to use it as a distraction because they don't want to focus on the real problems like defense spending, things of that nature. And, of course, there are people who take advantage of the system. You're always going to have that. But clearly, there are plenty of people who are too proud to use it.
Let's focus on making people don't need to even look for these programs, right? I mean, that was the top priority of Republicans when they took over the House, jobs. And we've seen nothing done on that. We've seen a lot of blocking President Obama's bills. Today on the bonus show, I went to a wedding over the weekend. It was a Catholic Mass. I will talk about my experience in the Catholic Mass and a lot of the sidebar that went along with it. We also have a lot of great stories that we're going to hear from Lewis. davidpakman.com/membership. Support the show. We're mostly funded by individual members to the show who get the bonus show and lots of other great benefits. We'll be back after this.